Okay, so we're looking for a woman who went missing early in April on a hike which she took by herself from Oaxaca to Cancun, but she never turned up, and her husband is looking for her. So yes, I'm seeing her starting out, this lady, and walking, and it's very sunny. It's like she started out early in the morning. Now, I don't really know anything about this case, but I'm going to ask Rhea, as I go along with what I get, if she's seeing similar things or has seen. She's worked on this a little before we worked together, so that I have nothing in my mind about this hike this lady took. She's a young woman, very lively, comes from a foreign country. She's not North American, but married to an American. And we can check later and see if our psychic visions, the things we see, are seers, and the information that's being given from spirit, if we are getting the same things. And as we go on, you'll see how we work, because we tend to bounce off each other with ideas and start to construct a picture of events from that. So I see this lady walking, and it's bright sunlight, and I see mountains to her left, and as I look at the map, there are mountains to the left, so that looks like a correct vision. I'm seeing tall plants, interesting plants. This is Mexico, so there are things there that are not here in North America. I see her walking up a path, and I'd say it's somewhat elevated. She's walking slightly away from the ocean, which would be to her right. She's not that close to the ocean, but on the map there's the ocean, and this is on the eastern side of Mexico, where the coast slopes down to the left, so it goes in the coast is running in a southeasterly direction. The hike would have gone towards the ocean. Santa Cruz is near the ocean, and then veered left and gone north to Cancun. So I see her, she looks to be walking up foothills or a lower mountain slope. And as I say, the range of mountains is to her left. She's walking up a path, but this is not a very high climb on top of a mountain, but it is a hilly terrain and at the base of mountains. Did you see anything like that there?
Mostly what I'm getting about her as we're talking, and I'm kind of zoning in, is I did see her earlier when it was first mentioned to me, her hair in a ponytail, walking with like a walking stick.
Walking with who? Oh,
with a walking stick. Yeah.
Okay.
But I was mostly getting how she was, or how she is. Her type of personality. Like she looked innocent, but she was very bold, and she liked adventures, and this is something that she really wanted to do for whatever reason.
Yeah, she's an adventurous person.
Yeah.
Yeah, very confident. She, although she's a slightly built young woman, she was not afraid to hike off into the wilds by herself in Mexico, which is, it's a somewhat risky area for a woman to do that. But, I get that there's no perception in her mind that anything can go wrong. And I see her a little later, a little further on the trail. She's maybe walked for 2 to 3 hours, sitting with a bottle of water and a map. and she likes orienteering. She's planning her route. And this is where the problem is, because it's not a fixed route. It's not a pathway that you can just follow the route that she went. Some of it, she doesn't seem to have really been on a pathway or a trail. Did she have a compass? It's almost like I feel like she might have had a compass.
I'm not sure.
Okay, it's a minor detail, but yeah. So I'm seeing her sitting and then setting out again. And now she's going flat or downhill, but it's kind of on the edge of a hillside. And always the hills are going up towards the left. And then later she sits down and has a meal, picnic meal. And I feel that something difficult happened after that. You know, she had a snack, then she carried on, then she had lunch, and then I see. Now I'm seeing something I'm not really liking the look of, which is a bog. There's mud, there's trees, and I've seen this when I was looking for a missing dog, which actually did die in that situation. He had died, and I saw him sliding into a muddy pool, and it's somewhat symbolic when I see mud and bogs, and I'm seeing very black kind of boggy place. I'm feeling that this is symbolic and not what she actually confronted, but it's symbolic of something. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you see as happening to this lady?
I actually saw that, kind of seeing a little bit more that it's almost like she tripped or the earth gave way a little bit, and I see her rolling down an embankment and hitting her head. And being knocked unconscious.
Yes, there's something about treacherous earth. And this, to me, it's like something happened on the first day. Maybe she was only going to take one day, but I would say it was if she set off in the morning, which I'm feeling like she did from the light I saw when she started and everything. I don't know all the sort of specifications of this case. We only just started to look at it, and we don't have all the information that the husband could give yet. It happened several hours into the hike, and it wasn't evening, it was afternoon. Yeah, I see her sliding down a bank like she's got a twisted ankle, because her ankle is hurting. And I see her lying by a rock. And it's kind of quite a big rock. Again, some of my visions tend to be symbolic rather than photographic. But I see her lying at the base of a rock. And she's injured. I see her injured quite badly, but I'm not quite sure where the injury is at the moment. Her arm hurts. I think she's concussed. The arm she's lying on, it's like the rock is behind her back, and the arm she's lying on would be the left arm. And it's like she's pulled her shoulder, wrenched her shoulder. I think she banged her head.
Mhm.
Well, something must be badly injured because I'm not seeing her getting up and walking away.
Yeah, I didn't either, actually. I saw her.
You get that too.
Being knocked out, yeah, well.
Yeah, unconscious and then coming round, but something is wrong with her body that she can't get up and walk for help. So what's your input on this?
Honestly, I don't get the best feeling because she's been out injured for a couple weeks.
Well, yes, I mean, it's very unlikely that she's all right if she's been lying there for 2 weeks.
I don't know why I'm drawn to Santa Cruz. If she got halfway or is near Santa Cruz, but immediately when I saw the map, that's the point I was drawn to. Like either it's before there or after there, but I feel like it's somewhere around. She's somewhere around Santa Cruz.
And she started out from Oaxaca. Mm-hmm. She started out from Santa Cruz. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense because that's about, Santa Cruz is about 3.5 to 4 hours into the hike when you look at the map. The entire route takes 8.5 hours to walk. And what I was getting was around 3 to 4.5 hours into the hike is when she had an accident, which could be useful because it gives him a pointer to where to look.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she may have cut off a corner that if you look on the map, there's the path veers to the right towards Santa Cruz and then makes a very sharp left and goes sharp north. And I have a feeling that she may have cut off that corner and gone away from the beaten path there, because it would have saved time.
Okay.
And I'm getting like you, either just before or just after that, you see where that path makes a sharp left and goes straight north at Santa Cruz.
I can't even say that.
Well, it doesn't matter, yeah. There's a very, very sharp angle in the path right there. Do you see it?
Yeah.
And I, like you, I'm getting either just before where the 119 marker is on the path, where it just dips down towards Santa Cruz, or just after. And I feel like it was between those two bits of the path, like she cut off the corner. And when you look at the map, you can see it looks like a tiny mountain or a tiny hillock in grey right there on that bit of the trail that goes directly north. Just to the left of it. Do you see it's like a little V shape that's grey?
No, it's not very big.
Well, we're looking at the same
I think so. Yeah,
we're looking at the
makes
same
like
map.
A little loop.
So let's say it's Tehuantepec is the word you couldn't say, and I may be saying it wrong, but that's the point of the path. And then you just go 1/8 of an inch north on that path, and on the left of the path there's a little grey inverted V. It's like a tiny grey mountain. I'm not sure what it represents, but it doesn't matter because I feel that that's where this happened.
Okay.
And that's where he needs to look first.
Okay, I'm looking for the little inverted V. Hold on, I can't. Is it after Santa Cruz? Oh, I think I see it.
Yes, after Santa Cruz. You see what happens to the path. If you look at the word Santa... Oh, it says Salina Cruz. I'm looking at Salina Cruz.
I thought it said I thought it said Santa Cruz too. Anyways, I I was drawn to that, but yeah, it does say Selena.
So you look a fifth of an inch above where it's the word Selena Cruz, and you see a sharp angle in the path.
Yeah.
And we're looking at the bit of the path that goes directly north. It's straight, and it goes north, and it's about a quarter of an inch long on the map, right?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't enlarged the map on my screen. And then halfway up that, there's a little grey marking on the left.
Mhm.
You see that? Do you see it?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, it's just grey. It's a white. There's like almost a square. It's a rhomboid shape to the left of that path, and it's all white except that there's a little sloping grey line with a little grey triangle underneath it, right next to the blue marked route on the left.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you see that?
I think so.
Well, I think she cut the corner there. Do you see where I'm talking about?
I think so.
She cut out the corner because she was going north. She was going
Selena Cruz and that to however you say it, Tina Peck.
She cut out that whole corner of the path to save time. She didn't want to follow the beaten path, and I also see her falling, and like she sprained her ankle, overbalanced, and fell to the right down a bank. And I see her coming round, like she is unconscious, so I'm not sure I see her hitting her head on a rock, but that's probably what happened. That's what you see. She's unconscious, and then I see her being conscious. And being in quite a lot of pain and having a feeling that she's in trouble, and I think she may have gone unconscious again.
Yeah.
Is that agreeing with what you see?
Yeah, and I kind of saw her with like her hands in her head, like, you know, why did I decide to do this by myself type thing.
It's very sudden, and it's like, you know, she just realizes that she's basically. I mean, I get a very, like, she has a very doomy feeling.
Mhm.
I think she's probably died there. You know, there was a suggestion that maybe she was kidnapped, but he may be just trying to protect himself by, you know, he wants to believe she's been kidnapped rather than died.
Mhm. Because I know Mexico is known for that, and I know that's what he's thinking.
Well, he wants to think it too.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want her, you know, anything worse to have happened. He wants her to still be alive. However, I don't get that she got out of that situation.
Yeah.
And sadly, I think that she died.
Yeah, I
hope I'm wrong. You know, we can be wrong.
Yeah.
You know, on past experience, we're usually right, but no psychic is 100%.
I was kind of getting that too.
You were getting that too.
Yeah. When I was messaging the husband, I was getting it. I hadn't said anything yet, but I was getting it because I was explaining how and I kept saying how she was. Although we are always, you know, our spirit never dies, but I mean, her personality and stuff, how she was. And I kept finding myself saying past tense, you know.
Yes, well, you did when you spoke to me, and that's telling too. If I was dealing with this lady's husband, and I'm not, you are, Rhea, I would insist that that's where the area that he must do a very thorough search.
Okay. Do we see any kind of? I'm trying to zoom in more to see if I can see any kind of symbols or anything around the area that you would know that that's the spot to take a closer look at.
Well, what we're looking at on this map, considering it's an 8.5-hour trek, the area of the map is about a 20 minutes walk. You know, I don't know, 20 minutes in all 4 directions to make a square. This is actually quite a small area, half an hour at the most on each side of the square. And in fact, she wouldn't go up into the leftmost point of the square because she was going straight. So, you know, it's those 2 points on the map, and he needs to mark a straight line between those 2 points. And the search fans out from that area. You know, on that very sharp bend in the trail, you go up 1/8 of an inch on the left side of the trail, and there's a grey triangle.
Mhm.
And that, you know, this is a very small area. And, you know, if several people are searching and he goes to the exact spot that I'm seeing, they can do a very exhaustive search. Most likely in one day, they will cover the area. And I'm afraid I do see a body there.
I just mean, like, you know, because she's down an embankment, so it's like they're going to have to, you know, look down the embankments, and I'm just wondering if there's any kind of landmark or anything close to there that we can see.